The last example we have for this section is on what we call cumulative frequency or cumulative relative frequency. And so you can see, again, using our table here, the cumulative frequency, again, is this idea of accumulation, which I had made a note somewhere over here. We've come somewhere, right here. A cumulative relative frequency, percent or proportion of values that are less than or equal to a given value. And so we care about that when we ask a question like something like this here. Out of those 21 states, right, that increase their minimum wage, how many of those increase their minimum wage to at least $12.99? So now we're looking at an entire amount, right? I'm looking at all of these up to $12.99 or less. And so the answer to this question would just be 19, right? Oops, messed up. The answer to this question would be 19 in this case here, because the cumulative frequency, you had 2 at this value, and then 6 more came in at $8.50 to $9.99, and so that's where the 8 comes from. And then where does the 14 come from is that 6 more were between 10 and $11.99, and then the 19 comes in, right, which is the answer to this question, right, 19. Right, that's the answer to that question here. 19 is that, and again, where that comes from is, again, the accumulation of these as we keep adding those, and those came from these values here as we added them up. And so then you get 19, and of course, once how many states are not $14.99 or less is 21, or all of them. And again, that's how it's done, by just accumulating, continue to add those. And then the relative frequency comes from, of course, taking this amount divided by the total. So we could say 19 of them, or 90.5% of them, right? That would have been another way to if that's what percent of them, 90.5% of the states increased their amount to $12.99. So that's the idea of using cumulative frequency, right? When we want to know how many have accumulated up to a certain amount. And that's it.